We'll continue our tour up the Guadalupe Trail here. These are steps near the bridge. They are a little steep due to the angle. We will have to work on that as a park ranger and fix that issue. And this is the trail extension. It comes down this direction. Over here to the right of the trail, and actually on the left, you'll see some massive vines. They intertwine all the way up to the canopy of the trees. They go up as high as they can because these vines love sunlight. And these vines are called muscadine vines. Muscadine, how you want to pronunciate it. But these are the vines used by, well, these are a muscadine plant, and they grow very, very tall. And they grow so they can reach the sunlight. And early fall, late summer, you'll start seeing the little black berries everywhere. They're like a wild grape. They are edible. You want to wash them first. But they make a very good jelly and a very good snack, just like any other grape. But they are delicious, and you will see these all over the trail. I'll get real close so you can see what type of wood this looks like. It's like a tree that's fallen at first light, but when you get close you can see it's not really a tree, even though it has characteristics of a tree. The characteristics of the bark are very similar to any other bark on any tree, like this. Rough on the outside, textured, and sturdy, very, very sturdy, heavy-duty trunks. Well, actually, these are vines, but they're similar to trunks, I should say. And at times, like this one in front of us, it forms a curious, well, I'm not sure what to call that, but it zigzagged in growth. I have to assume at one time it laid across another tree and slid off, and that formed it. And speaking of that, if you look at the trees in front of you, there's a unique style here. You have this tree here behind this one goes straight up. This one goes straight up. This one, as we curve up, and curves out. And it goes back up over here and goes up again. Why? I don't know. My first guess is it got blown over by the wind when it was younger, and it leaned over to catch the sunlight. But at this time, it's very hard to tell because we didn't watch it grow. It's been like that since I've been here. Very amazing, though, to see the tree catch itself and grow back up when it can. You see over there in the back, well, you may not be able to see from here, but there's over there, there's a little red flower called a Turk's cap. Very beautiful. We went into some of those along the trail at different places. Here's the other side of that trail I showed you. That used to be the original trail, and it does drop off suddenly. And that debris field on the other side, that was from the construction of this location here. You can tell by the fact that there is the original foundation there from the old houses and such that used to be around this area. There's bricks and chimney parts there, and larger boulders that were deposited here by the construction crew when the river was narrower, but it has washed in since the river got wider. As you can see, this is a very beautiful trail. Very nice to see. Here we come. We're coming up on some Turk's caps. Very beautiful red plant. Green plant with a red top. This time of year, the blooms are almost gone. Very hard to see, but still very nice. I'll hold the plant still just a little so you can see it. Maybe you can see that right there. That's a Turk's cap. And it is called a Turk's cap because as it grows, it forms a unique bud that's very interesting to look at. It resembles that of the Turkish people. And over here, this is actually the fruit produced by the Turk's cap as it grows. I do not know if it's edible. I am not going to test that theory. It may just be a very beautiful little orangish plant. And here's another one, another example of a Turk's cap with growth and fruit on it. You can see that the stem here is opposite. As it grows out, they're not across from each other. They grow, and there's one opposite, and it grows up, another opposite. It's a good way you can help identify plants, is where the placement of the leaves and stems are in the growth patterns. If it's whorled, if it's opposite, if it's across from each other, if it's offset of some way. And you have to look at the leaves also. You have to look at the veins. If there's invaginations on the leaves, these are what they call invaginations, where the dimples in. You have to look at the rough edges of it, the soft textures. There's a lot of factors that help you define a leaf and a plant and identify it in a book. Now I know there's some botanists out there that are cluing in on things that I may be screwing up on. Fine, you are, because I'm not that perfect a botanist or biologist. I'm just here for fun. I'm here to enjoy it. I'm just here to help others learn what I may make mistakes on. If I make a major catastrophe mistake, do it nicely and correct me in the notes, and then I'll, put a little video in later with updates. Now here's the really cool. Can't see it too well. With this here, this tree is alive on this side. This tree is dead on this side. This one's climbed completely up by Virginia creeper. It took over the dead side. The other side hangs over my head. I guess it is dead too. It'll fall soon, and it will become fodder for the ground, for the insects and everything to keep growing and eating off of. Throughout this whole area, you'll find great examples of decomposition, plants growing together and living in harmony. And here's another one. I believe this is called American beauty bush of some type, I believe. I'll have to double check my notes on my old biology books, and if it's not, I'll correct it in the notes down below the video. There's so much to see down this trail. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is how the trail looks all the way down to the river, and then it goes across several bridges, goes on for almost a mile. You turn back around, come right back. Over here, you have what looks like English ivy almost covering this tree. It's not native to this area if it's English ivy, but either way, it's still a beautiful ivy. Like I said, I am not a botanist of any degree. I may have had my education in it, but I am not perfect in it. I just know enough to understand what's before me. This here is Virginia creeper. A lot of people mistake it for poison ivy. Do not get them mixed up. One is itchy, one is not. I'll have to do a segment on the difference between poison ivy and Virginia creeper one day. Let's go on down the trail some little later.